And today I'm going to speak about diversity. And I am a strong believer of that because I've seen the benefits firsthand. I've seen how it allows for a multidimensional approach to both problem solving and solution creation. And that's so important, especially for a tech company, tech companies which solve problems at scale, right? So it's important that we have and are constantly arriving at innovative solutions. So many different problems in the world today, and different points of view always lead to the creation of a product or a service that solves multiple needs, because there isn't a single solution to any problem, but there are different variations to it. So diversity ensures that you take all points of view, as you move forward. And if you ask me, in an organization, so it isn't an organization alone that can ensure that there is an equal representation. I believe that there's an entire ecosystem involved, right from a family, friends, and organization leadership, outside mentorship support. So there are so many things, but maybe starting from an organizational perspective, and this I speak for the company because we've implemented so many things, and we've actually seen that work in the company. I think the main key to maintaining diversity in an organization is to ensure that there is diversity in the core team, the team which forms the group that takes the entire leadership forward, the founding team, so to say, right? So if there is diversity there, it trickles automatically throughout the organization, and we've seen that happen at Byju's. The balance starts right on the top. 33% of the people in the 33% of our board is women. 50% of our top management is women, and 40% of our entire company is women. So this clearly shows that if you ensure diversity on the top, it's started to take care. It will automatically be taken care throughout the organization. And there are enough and more studies that show that women tend to hire and surround themselves by more women, leading to teams which and the effect like goes on cascading down the organization, and nothing brings about a more stronger, mutual, more long lasting impact than women who are supporting women. So being cognizant, and I will reiterate, being cognizant of the same since inception can actually drive the results we want, the results we need to see of a world, say, with equal representation of talent and diversity in thought. And that being said, diversity is actually no more a feminist notion, right? It needs to be achieved, perceived as a corporate agenda, and because that can have a much bigger impact than some just basic policy changes. And how can diversity be a differentiator, if you ask me? And see, so it's if you look at especially the last 1 year during the pandemic, it called for empathetic leadership, right? And women leaders are considered to be the flag bearers of empathetic leadership. They're able to channel their emotional intelligence, nurturing nature to drive better results. So that was almost something that we needed in the workplace, especially in the last 1 year. People who understand, women who understand what goes beyond the work life of a person, that there is a family involved, that there's an entire ecosystem involved. And if you ask me though, right, the underlying solution to ensuring diversity is one word: it's opportunity. And I would give that way more, that is the causation for diversity. It is all about opportunity. I am here because of opportunity, because even though I was the only child, I was brought up agnostic of my gender. I am here because there were wings given to me, to my dreams, which propelled me to achieve whatever I wish to, not because I was or I was not a girl, but just because I dared to dream and I was given the opportunity and support to do so. And anyway, no one can stand alone, right? We all rise up on the shoulders of our family, our friends, our mentors, our colleagues, our bosses, our leaders, so to say, who go beyond their means, they go beyond their ways to support us. So if you ask me, this topic of diversity and inclusion, it starts at home, it enters the office, and it impacts the world, right, in a way. And each of us, every one of us, have our roles to play, our unique roles to play, to ensure that we have a more diverse, we have a more inclusive society that provides equal opportunities for everyone. So diversity goes beyond gender, right? It's all about, it's about being inclusive irrespective of geography, irrespective of gender, irrespective of capability, physical capability, all of that. And and like I mentioned before, I think everywhere it's about providing equal opportunity. It's about giving, ensuring that there is a level playing field. And I think technology to some extent allows for that, right? There are innovative ways to create a level playing field for everybody. Almost everyone has access to the same kind of information, to the same kind of learning now, thanks to technology. So it's the slowly, while the numbers were dismal, slowly and steadily the numbers are getting better and better. We are seeing more representation, and thanks to more and more leaders coming on top, there is an inspiration for many more people to follow in those same footsteps, to see that it can be done, how it can be done, and how well it can be done. I think that's very important. One more important thing I would like to talk about is how, and teaching, right? Because teaching was my first job. It's something that I hold very close to my heart even today. How today we have an opportunity, especially because of the kind of situation the last 1 year, the pandemic brought forward the opportunity for EdTech, if I can put it that way. The golden age of teachers is actually coming back, and we now have an opportunity to take teachers from India to the world, and we've seen that happen. And if you look at our latest tutoring model, where we have a one-on-one teaching with students across the globe, the teachers are women, all 100% women, 11,000 women graduates who are able to create such an impact from the comfort of their home. So they're able to balance both work and family. They don't have to give up on their career. So this is creating immense opportunity, and it has unlimited potential. And the reason for that is, although 50% of our graduates, or 51% of our graduates are women, only 23% of them are in the workforce, right? So it's such a big gap over there, and this is limitless opportunity, and this is untapped potential for the country to take forward. And speaking about that, especially around the age that I am, the mid-30s, is when most of the women drop out of the workforce. So here, empathetic leadership and having flexibility can really make a difference. So it calls for leaders who are able to take care. It calls for leaders who can go beyond their call of duty, to understand what goes behind and beyond. And my message actually is to all women also, because the toughest to hang on is during this phase, where it is so hard, right? And you have to give a priority to everything. But if you can actually hang in there, because it's not about starting the innings, but it's about staying in the game. And if you are able to do that, and if you are able to inspire young women that if they stay on in the toughest years of their life, this is almost that, right? The mid-30s is when you typically start a family. Then you're on to something big, because statistics show that half the women leave the workforce around this age. So such a big loss. So if as leaders we can inspire so many more women that they can do it, because we have done it with the help of our family, with the help of our support system, then I think India is onto something big, and we can really make a mark on the global landscape. Thanks a lot.